This segment brought to you by
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org.
We do have a pretty good crop of weeds in a lot of our wheat fields, but a lot of our fields got planted late, and we're kind of late developing in the spring, and with all the moisture, the weeds have come on. We probably have some mare's tail and kochia that probably came up earlier in the season. The big one in the summer, of course, is Palmer amaranth, along with some of the grasses like crabgrass and foxtails. Glyphosate probably carried the majority of that load, to be honest with you. Very broad spectrum in control as far as grasses and broadleaves. When glyphosate got really cheap and we went with some higher rates, and that probably contributed to some of the resistance issues that we've developed now. So we can't rely on the glyphosate for control of those species anymore. In many cases, the 2,4-D and dicamba are not doing the job either, partly because in many cases we let those weeds get way too big for them to control. One of the alternatives is gramoxone or paraquat. Paraquat is non-selective like glyphosate, so it's pretty broad spectrum in general, although it tends to be better on broadleaf species than in grasses. One of the keys to getting good weed control with paraquat is coverage. It requires adequate, thorough coverage because it's contact, it's not systemic. So that means probably at least 15 gallon per acre carrier, if not 20 gallon per acre. You also want to add adjuvants to it to make it work properly. And where you can, it also is beneficial to tank mix it with atrazine or metribuzin. And if you can't use those because of your future cropping plans, then it still is beneficial, I think, to tank mix those with either a 2,4-D or dicamba to get a little systemic activity. Now, the one tank mix I didn't talk about with paraquat that we probably should address a little bit is glyphosate. The problem being that when you tank mix those two, you get severe antagonism, that is, reduced control, especially out of the glyphosate. So unfortunately, tank mixing paraquat with glyphosate is probably not a very good option. The key, I think, with most of these is weed size, if we can get them on before the weeds get too small, and especially with the contact herbicides, we need to have that adequate coverage and use the appropriate adjuvants. So a minimum of 15 gallon per acre, really preferably 20 gallon per acre for the sharpen and the paraquat type of treatments.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.